people to get away from my content. That's why I like doing jackets for celebrities, because they're people who have been like, who will have been told that they can't do these things, and now they're going on and doing them. And obviously it's also very good for exposure for me. But like that's why I like celebrating people that achieve those things. And I think people follow my work because I can just tell them that it's okay. And a lot of people, so I used to have this well, I still have it, this Facebook group that's called Safe Space, and it's like people who are struggling with confidence or whatever it is. They come into this group, which is a group full of people that feel equally not as confident or don't feel they can do something, and then I'm essentially telling them that it's okay and they can do these things, and trying to offer advice where I can. Obviously I'm not like an expert in many things, but then a lot of those people are just never been told that they're good enough. So essentially my parents were, as I mentioned, really supportive, so I feel not guilty, but I feel a sense of like purpose, that I know that that's a luxury. So I want people to, I'm essentially now be that role that my parents were to me to people through why. So that's what I like. Well, that's what I hope. That's probably not the case, but.
So you enjoy like motivating people? That's.
Yeah, well, I like seeing. I was telling somebody last night actually that I like what I get a kick out of is people I don't know having seen a piece that I've done that was something personal about me, and then they relate to it, even though I don't know them, I've never met these people, and then they can relate to that feeling I was going through, or they can relate because they feel the same sort of way, and then it impacts their behaviour, which I just think is like, it's very scalable as well, like you can have a much bigger impact, and I just think it's like a really mental idea that like I can feel a certain way, or I can put a certain message out, and then somebody I don't know can see and relate to, and then it impacts their behaviour.
That's the most powerful sort of art though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that I'd like to do good. As I say, I feel like, not a sense of duty, like some sort of like superhero, but like I feel almost guilty that because even to have two parents that live together in the same house is like a rarity almost. That I was raised really well, and I would really like to, and that, like I said, that's a luxury. So I can only use the skills that I've got. Like I would like to just go around and tell them more, become Prime Minister and make it all like easier. But I can only use the skills that I've got, and that's being creative. So I can just try and impact them through those skills.
They're more likely to listen to you because of your artwork. So if you were just trying to like preach to them by word of mouth, they might not listen to you. But because you've got like a skill behind you, they might be interested in art, and it might be easy for them to identify with the message that you're trying to put out there, rather than, because some people just they might not learn things by listening. They might be more visual like us, and they might learn things from seeing artwork or seeing a message visually, if that makes sense.
Yeah, mate, I think that I get messages from people who are into art, but I also get messages from people who aren't, and I guess it's just transferable. What I'm saying is, even if you're a florist and you don't feel like you're good enough, someone's told you that you're not good enough, or you don't feel like you're good enough, like I'm just saying that you can do that. And I'm trying to be my own case study in breaking away and doing what I want to do. But if you're a musician or something like that, it's still the same principles. Or the same message, that I'm just putting out there, that you don't have to do the way things are always done, or you've always been told, because it's just one way of doing things.
That's a good that's
like, you've got me all heated up now, ran for ages.
I think you are like a good role model for people to look at.
Say that.
Like everything that you do is pretty positive so far, anyway.
It might have a downward spiral, but it's a journey. But I guess, I don't know, I just like being, trying to see the good, because what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say, the reason it's nice to be nice, and I'm trying to be like, put some positivity out there, because the other side of that would be to do stuff that's negative towards people, and that's like against, that's the anti-message that I'm trying to put out. So I guess in order to get my message across, then the work has to have this Defy the Oddz sort of attitude towards it, if that makes sense. Which I actually think is why I'm gone now. Because that's why I think that I don't stick to a what's it called? Not a method, but not a routine, a medium, because it's not really about the painting or a sculpture or the mural or whatever. It's just about whatever the message is, and that can take like any form. But I'm sure there'll be something that I'll, when I discover it, I'll just do that forever. But at the moment, it's just more about putting this message out.
Well, that's the most important thing, really. But
I think
that
as
is
an artist.
But that is one of the reasons why I like your artwork, because you've tried pretty much every medium so far. Well, most of them anyway. So you've done street art. You're good at painting. You do a lot of drawing. You're getting into like sculptural work using clay. So what's been your favourite medium so far?
I've tried loads, and I actually did magic for a bit.
You did magic?
I really liked doing that. I did these videos where it wasn't necessarily magic. Louis, it was like the videos, and it would look like it was like video effects, and it would look like I was doing magic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you see some?
Yeah.
They were probably the funnest ones that I probably just had because they were just like messing around. But I think the jackets I like doing the jackets because it seems to be the one constant. So even when I was doing graphic design, I did clothing around that, and then when I went to uni and the Pro Pig stuff, I did like Pro Pig clothing. And then obviously now, that's what I do as my main medium now. It always seems to have come back round. I think if I'm putting out this message, and this message is Louis.
We've got a dog, by the way. Dog in here.
This is my dog, Louis. I think he wants to go out. Louis, come here. Come here. He's also very stubborn.
Come on.
Should I just grab him?
Yeah.
Do I just keep...
Show everybody.
He's like a bit of a cat. He's a proper stubborn, lazy sod. But I'll just put him down here. But he's kind of cute, I guess. What's saying? Jackets. So it's all about the message, and then what you wear, I think, says a lot about you. I also like psychology, so I like clothing psychology, about like colours and what that says about you. And obviously, if you're wearing that Hugo Boss top, that says a lot about you.
What does it say?
Good things, do you know what I mean? But it's better than wearing a Fruit of the Loom t-shirt, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it makes you look cooler, makes you look more attractive, that's for sure. Not from me speaking, obviously, but so I like putting the message on jackets or on clothing, because then I'm expressing how I feel through my clothing, and then other people that wear them are also expressing my message through. They're like agreeing with it, because you wouldn't wear a t-shirt or a jacket that you wouldn't agree with.
Yeah, it's like wearable artwork, and everybody can see the message if you're wearing it.
And it's just expressing who you are as a person. Yeah. So I just find it super interesting. So I think that's probably my favourite, to answer your question, my favourite video.
Yeah, they do look good. So in this video I'm going to show you examples of Doddz artwork. So he's got a jacket on right now. Do you want to show them the jacket?
This is, I should have worn a different one, but this is a work in progress. So really all I've done to it so far, apart from distressing it and putting a couple of patterns on, is it just says Defy on the back. And then, but then...
Do you want to show the camera?
Do you know what, I will. Am I going to be able to see? I don't know.
If you just like stand,
I'm not going to squat down. But then even just having the word defy, people who know me automatically know what it means. Can you see this? I feel like I'm selling it.
Sell yourself, bro. Like,
but
can people buy these?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. I'm trying to get paid. So. So I'm still going to do some more work to it, but at the moment, I got a friend that messaged me, and he just said, even though it just says Defy, he knew instantly what it meant in terms of the message I'm putting out, because he knows me and stuff like that. So I was like, I quite like that. I might just leave it like that, and then I might just add to it in the future.
It's also got Doddz there and the label.
Oh yeah, I've got a label. I got these done. These like Alibaba job from ages ago, but I always like to put one of those on.
That's smart.
Yeah, I just like it. And when I was younger, I always used to like wearing things that nobody else had. Don't really know why. But then that's why all my younger photos I'm wearing some like really questionable things. So maybe that's got something to do with it as well.
Right, so I think we've touched on most of your career so far.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years' time? What's the future for Doddz? What do you want to achieve? What are your goals?
Well, at the moment, I think I'm just going to double down on doing these jackets for people, but also celebrities. It's good for exposure. I'm trying to go full time. I think by the end of the year go full time, and then I don't really know. But I think that's quite exciting. Not to know what I mean. You'll know how quickly things change, circumstances and stuff. I really want to go full time. Just because I've been talking a lot of shit in terms of challenge convention, Defy the Oddz, and then not doing it myself. So I quite like to make them full time. Doing the stuff for the celebrities at the moment's fun. I like the chase, and I think you always get like a bit of a buzz. You get a DM from somebody you recognise, and then I'm hoping one of those will just hit, and then I'll get enough exposure to go full time. I was thinking about putting an exhibition on at the end of the year called A Ticket to Ride, and it'd be like, sell enough pieces in here, it'd be my ticket to going full time.
That'd be cool.
Get enough money to go full time for a year, and then I'll have 1 year to make enough money to go for the next year. Do you know what I mean? Work on it in that way. So that's probably my plan for this year. Next 5 years, not really sure. Don't really know. Probably difficult to say. There's sort of something about establishing yourself as an artist as well, to be seen. Yeah, it's quite a statement to be seen and seen in auction.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you see like all the most established artists, say like Banksy, Damien Hirst, Cause, Keith Haring. Their work goes for millions of pounds. That's something that I would like to reach.
Yeah, me too. I'd really like to be a millionaire.
But while I'm alive, I want to see it while I'm alive.
Yeah.
So that's
passion on that.
Not just that, but I mean like.
We were saying earlier, didn't it, that having the money is not the goal, but the freedom is the goal, but the money is the...
So the more money you have, the freer you are, it's like creative freedom, in other words. So you'll be able to make bigger projects, like bigger sculptures, or, basically you'll be able to invest more money into yourself the more money you have, and you're free, aren't you? You don't have to work a 9 to 5, you can just do artwork 24/7. I
totally agree. That's the dream, really, isn't it? Just wake up and just be like, today I'm just going to create. Yeah, and that's really the brief. Like that's.
Well, I'm kind of
working towards.
I'm kind of doing that now, I guess, like because
living the dream.
Art's my full-time job, but when you actually get there, it's not like overnight. I don't know really. It just happened. It's a goal I achieved, but I didn't celebrate it. Do you understand what?
No, it's a nice milestone, though, isn't it? You're quite proud of yourself. That's like it, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've made it essentially.
Well, kind of. I don't want to be like struggling or anything. I'm not struggling now. I'm doing alright, to be fair. But I mean, obviously, you want to be one of the greatest. That's what I want to be. I want to be in history books. So that's what I'm reaching towards.
I love that. The last page of the art history book. That's what you want to be on.
Is that something that you'd like to achieve?
Yeah, I think that I feel like that putting out this message, this you can do whatever it is. Obviously, you're doing that. You're the embodiment of that. I think it's important to put out there, and I think it's bigger than I am. That's super cringy, but I think it's also timeless. So I feel. People are just picking up on the Stoke stuff now, and I still get messages about that, even though it was a few years ago, and the jackets are the same thing. So I think that I put out this message there. What I'm trying to do is not say this sentence, but make the world a better place because I was here. That's super cliche, and it's kind of what I want to do, but I just don't like that. If I can avoid saying that, that'd be.
That's a good mindset to have, though.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're only here for a little bit of time, so I feel like it's important to put out the message, and if it impacts a handful of people, I still think that's time well spent.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's not that's not for everybody. I don't think everybody should. what am I trying to say?
Like, everybody's got different goals and different things they want to achieve. Like that.
Each their own. Like if you want to work at Boots your life and you're happy to go out at the weekend, that's fine. Like I don't think that's a bad life. I'm always jealous of that in some aspects because they get a lot more time to like chill and time for family and friends and stuff. But
it's a simpler life. But that's the risk you take when you're an artist. You're more or less an entrepreneur. That's what you are.
Yeah, I think so. And that's why I think so. I've been working at this agency now at Social Chain for like 2 years, and the reason I did that is because when I finished the trail, it became very clear to me that like I was okay at art but very bad at business. So I didn't know how to make, charge the right amount. Like how do you start a business? Like that kind of really fundamental questions. So I thought I was like 22. So I thought if I find a business mentor, study for what I can for. In terms of personal branding, because I think that's important. And I learned that because, as I mentioned earlier, who I was almost as important as what the work I was doing.
Yeah.
So I knew that personal branding was important, but again, didn't know anything about it. And then I thought if I get an entrepreneur business mentor for like a few years, say 2 years, I'm 24 now, that's still enough time for me to then apply those things to what I'm doing. Because I agree with what you're saying, that an artist is essentially just a creative entrepreneur.
And you're still more or less at the beginning of your career. You got
I'm so bad. So bad at. I've only been doing art for like a few years. Like in terms of the quality of work I'd like to do, I'm like so far off. I'm just learning just all the time, and that's why I was like really impatient when I was younger. Like I just wanted to be the biggest and the best. Like immediately,
same.
Overnight, and then you learn that you got to be a bit more patient with it, which goes against like my natural personality. I'm very impatient, so that's like probably one of the biggest lessons I learned last year. Was just about focusing, just keep going.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna reword the question then. Right. How would you like to be remembered then?
When I'm gone.
Or maybe rather than 10 years, say 50 years.
Just somebody who had a lot of fun, am I dead at this point or am I still alive?
Well, it's only 50 years.
Right, 50 years.
It'll just be 74.
So still be an artist because you can still do art when you're like 74. Just somebody who has a great life. Financial freedom would obviously allow me to do a lot of philanthropy.
Yeah.
It's like not giving back almost.
So you like just to mentor other people then?
It's going to be mentoring or charity. I'm not really sure what form it would take. But if I was in an opportunity where I could help other people, either with art or financially, or give my time in I don't know what shape it would take, but just if I could still do my artwork and then with the spare time do some other good, I think that'd be a smart move. If I was in a financial position where I could have a real impact. But just somebody, at 74 I'd like to be somebody whose message has touched millions. Not touched millions, but impacted millions.
Yeah.
So like there's like a few stories of, like I mentioned earlier, about impacting, changing people's behaviour, even though I don't know them, but just to a much, much larger scale. That would be, I'd be a happy 74-year-old if that was the case.
That's such a good goal to have, bro. That's good, man.
If I just need to learn what the word philanthropy, if that is the right word or not, I'll start setting it as my goal.
Alright, thank you for that. That was really good, bro.
Right, I may have ranted off a little bit there, but I'm all hyped up now.
Yeah. Right, so if you want to check Doddz' work out, I'm going to leave the links in the description below. And if you want to get a custom made jacket or any sort of commissions,
we need to make these millions.
Then give him a message. Right, and cheers again, man. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.